Hello, welcome back. Today we have some single leg squat things, some lunge things, and some glute bridge things, which amount to a bit of a back bend as well. All you will need is some sort of block, but if you don't have it, don't worry, it is not essential. It just makes things a little bit easier. And yeah, we've got some nice juicy exercises. Make sure you've got your water. Freya is currently asleep. If she does wake up, I will just have to go and get her because I am the only one here, but I'm trying not to jinx myself. I don't want to rush through my workout either. I want to enjoy it, but she might wake up because I'm in like the danger zone. She might wake up at any point. But yeah, we'll get into it. We've got a round of just easing in, and then as always, each round will just build on the exercise that we've done. So we're just going to start off with a nice gentle body weight squat. Again, adopting your normal squat stance, whether you prefer to have it a bit wider or a bit narrower. Just some nice squats for me. Again, chest pointing forward, laser nipples. Make sure you can shoot your enemies with those. Still thinking about collapsing in at the ankle, knees going over the toes, and just keeping that breathing nice and steady. Hands can do whatever feels good. Here we go. 2 more. Just letting the body know what we're up to. Lovely. Side lunge, one way and then one the other. Feeling the stretch in that inner thigh. Again, chest up, so we're not sort of tipping over as we go. Keeping that chest pointing forward. Hands can do whatever feels good. I just like to sort of keep mine up here. Just keeps them out of the way. Stops them from dangling anywhere that I don't want them to. That's it. Just seeing if you can just lean in just a little bit further each time. Do one more each way. Keeping both feet facing forward. Perfect. Lovely. Shake them off. We're going to come down to the mat and we're just going to do a regular glute bridge. Again, hands can either be out the sides or just up on the chest. Some people quite like to have them on their hips. You're going to push through your heels to bring those hips up. Tucking the tailbone underneath at the top. Squeeze those glutes together. Down nice and slow. Sit with control. So every movement has purpose. You're not just letting it drop down. You're going to control that movement all the way up and all the way down. Again, really push through those heels. So let's have 3 more. So last one. Pushing high, control it down, bring yourself up. I don't know about anyone else, I have to make sure I come up when I go from down on the mat to up, get a bit of a head rush each time. So I always make sure I go nice and slow. Sip of water. And we're going to go for some rollbacks. Now, rollbacks can be done in any number of ways. So we're going to stagger our stance. So 1 foot slightly in front of the other. We're going to just lower down into our lowest squat and try and get all the way down until we roll back on the mat, and then you can come up however you want. Block might come in handy because you might have something behind you, staggered stance, that you can then just reach to ease yourself in. You can come down onto the mat like that. Let me just adjust the camera slightly. I think you can all see what I'm doing, but let's just adjust that like that. There we go. And or you could always just pop one hand on the floor to ease yourself in, trying to keep the heels down. If they come up, don't worry. And we're going to roll back, get lots of momentum, and see if you can stand up in any way that feels a bit of a challenge, but you can still achieve it. So that might be coming up, placing one foot down, and then just giving yourself a little gentle push with the arm. But we're going to do 4 on one side and 4 with the legs in the other staggered stance. And the thing we want to focus on is the control of the lowering phase. So try not to drop straight into the floor. So nice and controlled. So I'm going to start with my right leg back. That is the leg that's going to be taking all of the weight, well, not all of the weight, most of the weight of the body, and the left leg is just there as a bit of a supporting roll. So here we go. Trying to put all the weight into that right leg, roll back, come up however you like, and then go again. Take time with these. Really control this bit down, pushing the knee right over the toes. I'm coming up. 2 more on this side. I've got a little bit where I just feel like that's when my mobility is really tested. So I'm just going to make sure that I lean into that and stay there for just a second at that point, because that's where I'm just letting my body know that I'm okay here. Right, I'm going to change legs. My left leg, not as happy to perform this. So I'm just going to try again. So it's a lot higher. That point that I'm feeling that this is just testing my mobility comes a lot higher when my left leg performs this exercise. Like I say, you come up however you want. I'm just trying to lower myself down so that I don't just plummet again. That could involve a hand to the block. Trying to keep that heel down. Also, when I first did a roll back, I could not get back up on 2 feet like I'm doing now. Took me loads of practice to get that. Awesome. Shake those off. Now we do need this block for our side lunge. So we're going to go all on one leg first and then swapping sides. So we're going to go into our side lunge. I'm going to step towards my block and then I'm just going to reach down to where that block is. So you can scale this yourself now by having that at a different height or going for the floor. Now I don't really know where my sort of mobility lies with this, so I'm just going to go with the block on its end, so not the highest, but here I could also go like that for something a little bit lower, but I'm just going to stick with that and then I can always change it. So we're going to step, lean in and touch down on that block, come back up, and I'm just noticing everything that's happening in my body. When I go for that reach, I can feel it here more, side glute. I'm going to do one more and then I'm going to lower it. Awesome. I'm going to go for that lower one. Again, you could be reaching towards the floor. If you don't have a block, you could just be reaching down the leg. See where you get to. And I just want to place my hand flat on that. Oh, 2 more. Leaning right in. Amazing. Right, other side. I'm going to do exactly the same on this side. I'm going to start with it slightly higher. And then I'm going to flip it over. Get into that nice side lunge, feet facing forward, and just reach down. I'm still trying to keep my chest facing forward and not letting it do this as I reach down. So I'm trying to keep that arm nice and long as I do that. Lovely. I'm going to make it smaller now that I've just let my body know this is what we're doing and we're all good. Awesome. Last two. I think this is why I just like to keep a hand that I'm not using on the chest as well, just as a reminder to keep that chest nice and upright and keep that arm nice and long. Right, back to that glute bridge. A little sip of water. It is warm in here today, very warm. And I think you've got an all right view down there. I'll leave that, that looks fine. Going down onto the mat, and this time in that glute bridge, we're going to just place the hands flat on either side of the head. So laying back, I'm just going to get those hands just here. Now, depending on how your wrists feel, you might find it easier to have them really tucked up by the shoulder. If you can handle more of an extreme bend in the wrist, you can bring them further up next to more on the sides of the head, not near the shoulders, but just do what feels good for you. If that doesn't feel good on the wrists, you can leave that bit. So only do what feels good. And we're going to go for our glute bridges with the hands just behind the head, just getting the wrists used to this bent position, which they are in lots of different movements. They're bent for push-ups, planks, walkouts. We've just been bending them as we've reached down. Lovely. If you can now move them out a bit, get that palm flat on the floor, and see if you can get more of your back and your pelvis off the floor now. So coming right up, chest coming to chin, bending through that back. Lovely. Two more. Now we can give the wrists a little break. Again, bending through that lower back. Lovely. Relax those wrists. Give them a little shake off. Awesome. Grab a quick drink and then on to that next round. We're going to go back to those rollbacks. And this time we're going to reach away from the back leg. So if I've got my right leg back, as I go down, I'm going to reach away from it with both arms. Again, if that doesn't feel quite right, stick to what we did in the last round with the rollbacks, just concentrate on them. Again, just 4 on each side, focusing on coming nice and slowly into that bottom position. This is all building up that single leg strength. Things for like pistol squats, normal squats as well, anything like that, okay? So we're just going to go reach over, all on one leg, roll it back, stand up, okay? 3 more of those on the right leg, reaching away from that back leg, getting some nice clicks in the knees. One more. Really focusing on sitting into that leg. Standing back up, right, swapping sides now. Left leg back, reaching away from that leg. Reaching away. Leaning into any stiffness. I've got loads in this side. Doesn't matter what the other leg is doing. So mine naturally wants to come up onto the heel, which is fine because that leg is only supporting. So don't worry about that. If it feels good, you could even maybe, if you feel confident to, is to start to try and pop that up if you can. Because in that single leg squat, that is what it would be doing anyway. So yeah, if that one wants to come up onto the toe, that's brilliant. Whew. Those are tough. Give them a shake off. We're going back to that side lunge and reaching down. Grab your block. If you want to use a block, of course, you can just be reaching towards the floor or down the leg. So what we're going to do with the other arm now is, as we reach down, this arm is going to come right overhead and really reach. And then you're going to stand up and bring it back to the center, all on one leg first. And then we're going to change sides. So really leaning into that side lunge, reach over, look towards those fingertips, and then bring it back in. Very nice. Gives me a bit of a head rush, like I was saying, but take your time with it. Go nice and slow. It's a nice stretch for the shoulder. Reaching it right over the head. 2 more on this side. Lovely. Right, swapping sides. Oh, we are almost there. This is making me really warm today. Again, reaching over as we step, reach down, look towards those fingertips, and then bring it back up. This is a similar to a move in Ashtanga yoga. I'm not sure what it's called because they've all got really long names, but it is something based on something similar. Get my foot right. Based on something similar. Hard work for that arm just to stabilize overhead as well. Last 2, really focus on pushing that up towards the sky as you go for that reach. And 1 more. Lovely. Right. We are down on the mat again for those bridges. And all we're going to try and do now with the hands behind the head is just give them a little press into the floor. Doesn't have to be major. Doesn't have to be really high up. I can't do full wheel pose because it's just not something that I'm working towards, but I do like these back bends as part of a workout. I think, again, just to offer the core a different position, they just feel blooming lovely. So it doesn't have to be something crazy. We're just gonna, as we go up into that glute bridge, just gonna push through the floor with the hands, just to get a bit more height with the back bend, pushing up, push through the floor, coming onto sort of the back of the head. If that feels uncomfortable, you could pop a cushion under the head, little rolled up blanket. But we're just focusing on really bending through that lower back and really driving up with the glutes. Sending those hips nice and high. Just got to try really hard not to trap my hair under my hands. So coming up, little lift, and then slowly coming back down. And again, it's that moving up and down with purpose. So I'm going to control the movement up and press, and I'm going to control it back down as I roll down as well. And I'm just going to give myself as much time in between. I'm going to do 2 more because these are tough. That's it. Like I said, if the wrist didn't feel comfortable, you can just go for that extra range in the back without those hands there. Amazing. We're all done. Might just stay here. Just stay down on my mat. Right. Oh, and it looks like Freya has just woken up, so I've actually got away with that one. I hope you enjoyed that. It's a nice bit of stretchy bendiness. Have a lovely rest of your day. Any questions about any of the exercises, as usual, please do ask and let me know if you tried it. Lovely. Take care, everyone. Bye bye.